Welcome everyone to our call tonight for our Sweet Aroma Society. We're so excited to have every single one of you on the call. And I'm super, super pumped for our guest speakers tonight. Our very own Mandy Dailey, Star Director Mandy Dailey. She joined in May of 2020. And I'm so excited for her, has absolutely done incredible, amazing in her business, already Star Director, less than 2 years. And our other guest speaker is Erica Milton, and she is a director, leads a team of 33. And this month is her anniversary. So happy anniversary.
I just realized that the other day.
And Mandy leads a group of 170. So that is incredible in less than 2 years. Like, absolutely mind-blowing. I'm so excited for both of them, and I am going to go ahead and turn this call over to them.
I will go ahead and start first, if Erica doesn't mind. I just want to tell you guys a little bit about me and my story. My story has evolved, I guess, since I started Scentsy. Initially, when I started, just to kind of go back a little bit, when I started, it was the end of May 26th. I was in a party and we were like locked down, right, for COVID. And I was in a party, and honestly, I wanted Scentsy. My aunt was hosting a party, and at the same exact time, so she had said, "Who wants to start a party?" I was like, "Hey, pick me, because I can't afford to buy this stuff." So now me and my aunt have a party going on at the same time. And I just wanted all the things, but I was poor. So I have this party, and I was just like blown away by the products. Like right away, I was like, oh gosh, I need all the things. So it was like a big running group in my party. Like, oh gosh, my husband is going to kill me, you guys. I'm going to buy all of the things and he is going to kill me. Like, I was just saying girl code, please don't tell my husband what's going on here. So in that party, I actually branded my business that way, which was really kind of crazy. I ended up naming my business Girl Code because it was such a running joke in my party, and got all the free things, obviously. And then last minute decided to join. It was just like a whip. Like, I had done MLM marketing before. I sold makeup. I sold lipstick. I sold fake eyelashes. I did all the things, and it wasn't working for me. And I don't know if it was just like a moment of courage or fate or what it was in that exact moment that I said yes, but I dived in and I said yes. And I said, this is it. This is the last one that I'm doing. I'm not going to do this anymore if there's not a payout for it. So I'm just going to give it all I got, right? All the tools that I've learned throughout all these years, I'm just going to push it out with fire. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, this is where I end my marketing career. So I did that. I went right in, and the first thing that was really important for me to change, you guys, was my mindset. So I was in a really dark place in COVID. I was one of those crazy people that followed the numbers. I had 2 sick parents. My mom had just survived lung cancer, and my dad was at home recovering from Legionnaires disease. So he was recently vented and taken off of a ventilator, and was homesick. So my fear, obviously being in a pandemic, is that something's going to happen to my parents, and fast forward a little bit, I gave it all the momentum, and I did all the things, and I changed my mindset, and I really just put a lot of passion and fire into this because I was sitting at home. And then my world changed. My world kind of collapsed. Sorry, oh gosh, I'm gonna cry. And I didn't want to, because I actually put on mascara for the first time like ever. But my world changed, and I was doing good. I just hit director. My dad was so proud of me, you guys. My dad is like my biggest cheerleader and my best friend. And in April or the end of May, like right around my year, my dad ended up getting COVID, and and he ended up passing away from COVID. Okay. This is actually the first time I'm telling this story. And I don't know why I didn't think about practicing or not practicing, but like thinking about all the things I'm going to say and thinking, oh man, I should probably grab some tissues. But anyways, so my dad ended up passing away from COVID. And at that point, I'm working full time. I am a Scentsy director that blew up like crazy because I was working the business and I was working the business and I had a lot of new teammates. I had a lot of things going on and depression hit in, right? You know, you lose someone important to you and you're going to have some depression. And I, at one point, just decided, okay, well, I don't know if I can do this. Like, this is just so heavy on me, right? I don't know what's going to make me happy, but right now I'm doing 100,000 things and I don't know if I can do all the things. So I had to seek some help, like mentally. I had to get some therapy and start focusing on my mindset again because I had stopped all of that. Like I was just in this bad place. And I knew that I was only just going to sit here unless I put in the action to get out of it, right? I could be a why me person, or I could make the change and decide I am going to change my life. And I know that my dad didn't want me to be in that place. So I took a step back and I said, what do I want? And I'm going to make an announcement with you guys, and some of my team's probably not even they're going to be like, what, you held out on me. But so I wrote down on a piece of paper, what's going to make Mandy happy? And what makes Mandy happy is Scentsy. And what didn't make me happy was my full-time job. So within a short amount of time, I've been in the business 1 year and 9 months, I was able to quit my full-time job. Sorry. I just recently quit my job. And
can we just like take a moment to celebrate? Like,
yeah.
incredible. Like mind blowing, amazing, amazing. I'm so proud of you. Like so many in 2 years and everything that you've gone through. It's commendable.
Thank you. So
in with you, like, yeah.
I took the leap and I quit my job. I shifted my mind again. And I thought, how am I going to live my life the way I want to live it? And what am I going to do to take the lesson in my dad's death? Because honestly, you guys are handed lessons in so many different things in life. And I was always that person that didn't take the lessons. Something bad would happen to me and I was a why me person. Like, oh, this is just my luck. I'm just an unlucky person. Why me? This is my life. It was like a negative spiral that I have been doing for years. And it wasn't until something really traumatic happened to me that I realized that I was even this person. Because for so long I was like, I felt like I was kind of optimistic, but in the back of my head, I was still like, oh, that's my luck. You know, oh, that's me. That's why me. And I started getting back into that mindset, right? Because I truly believe that everything starts here. And I started listening to motivational speeches again. I started doing things intentionally that make me happy. And if that was just spending 5 minutes petting my dog with all the phone turned off and just listening or dancing around with a hairbrush, singing to whatever it was that was going to make me happy, that's what I decided to do. And that's honest to God how I run my team today. I run my team with positivity. And man, how lucky are we to wake up every single day and do things that we enjoy to do and be around so many incredible people. And we're just so blessed. You guys don't, if you just look around and see all of the blessings that you have in your life, it almost is crazy to me how I was living before, right? But it does take some work to get there. And that's how I lead my team. That's how I live my life now. And it's been a game changer. So yeah, here I am today as star director, less than in 2 years, and I quit my full-time job, and that's my Scentsy story.
Absolutely amazing, amazing. And your team loves you. Your team just loves you.
I have to say something else too, real quick. And when my dad passed away, I thought I had these incredible people in my life. And I'm not going to like mention names in case any of my team knows them, but I had a best friend for 25 years. I was in a band for the past 15 years. And the people that were there for me through my dad's death, sorry, I'm going to cry again because I love these people so much. But they were my Scentsy team and my Scentsy family. And if it wasn't for those people and those moments, honest to God, I don't know where I would be. So you guys, when I say how blessed you are to be in this community, I truly mean that. You're with a bunch of individuals who truly want the best for you and pray for you and are there to clap for you and your successes. And that's one thing to be thankful for. If you have to think about something every day, that's something you should be very thankful for. But okay, sorry, I'm done. No more tears. Mascara.
Okay. And we love you. We all love you. We admire you. Like, amazing.
Thank you.
Well, I didn't think I was going to bring the tears either, Mandy. Thanks.
Sorry, I really was not planning that.
Me neither. My story is quite different from Mandy's. And when I started last March, when I think back and think about what I'm going to talk about today and what attracted me to this business, and I'm just going to say it was Mandy and how she approached me. I've never done any other MLM company direct sales, never. I wanted to make extra money. I wanted a second job, and I have a pretty good full-time job, but I'm a single mom and I needed a second income. My son is in sports. I'm a full-time mom. I own a home. There's no other time for me to get a second job, literally. So of course, other, direct sales companies have, reached out to me, and I've done my research and decided it wasn't for me. So I had a party for a friend whom is now on my team and literally just had a party for her, just for her. Had no intentions on signing up. I'd tried Scentsy before, sure. At the end, my party did pretty successful, and Mandy planted the seed. And she planted the seed, and I had 5 million questions, she can tell you. And after those 5 million questions, I was like, okay, let me think about it. And she let me think about it. I think it was maybe a week or two. And I'm like, dang, why isn't this girl getting back to me? Like, she must not need me. Like, so that got me thinking. That was honest to God. And let me backtrack. The fact that when she planted the seed, I'm sure all of us have had other companies plant the seed, right? With your long spammy email that they copy and pasted. Mandy voice messaged me. So my team knows I voice message now. And that's one of the reasons. When she voice messaged me, I got to hear her voice. She was a real person. And it was so much more personal. And I'm like, wow, she actually took the time out. She didn't copy and paste like I'm used to seeing. Anyways, so that's what initially attracted me to the company. And I just asked her, what do I have to do to be successful? What do I have to do to do what you're doing? And she told me, and of course, essentially parties. And I just dove right in and had no intentions of even making $100, and then when my first paycheck was $300, and then my next one was $600. And I just kept going. I just kept asking her, what are you doing? And what are you, basically just, what are you doing? And I just did it. And during the summer, as we all know, is kind of the downtime. And I'm not going to lie, I knew it was too good to be true. After I exhausted my friends and family, right? I knew it was too good to be true. Mandy's like, well, follow up. Okay, so I go through my history, I follow up. Nobody wanted a party. They all wanted them for August, September, October. And I told my mom, I said, well, I better have a good August, September, October, because I got a ton of parties, but I know, they're not going to pan out or whatever. Well, come August, September, October, I killed myself. They all panned out. And I think that is just my biggest thing, is being consistent and not giving up and just being yourself. That was another thing that when I have friends that do direct sales, and not to knock anybody, but I'm going to be honest. I see what people do and I know what I don't want to do type thing. I can tell when my friends aren't being themselves. These are some of my best friends. So I know when they're on, their lives or their posts, I can tell that it's not them, and it just doesn't attract me to it. I think you're just trying to sell me something and you don't really love the product. Right. So I think that's my biggest thing. And here we are. And I actually, when thinking about this, I reached out to one of my team members who's 10 days, 15 days in. And we actually had our first job when we were 15 years old together. And she reached out to me to join. And I said, well, I'm going to ask you, now I need your help. Why did you reach out to me? And she said, because I saw that you were successful. And I thought, if you can do it, I can do it. And that's absolutely right. And so I think that was my wake up call. Like, wow, posting these successes on Facebook, which is not easy for me to do because I hate to talk about myself. I was never a Facebook person. So I had to build that up and talking about myself. And obviously it worked because she saw it. And yeah. I don't know. That's, I think, the biggest advice I can give is just to be authentic and consistent. I mean, those are the three things. I mean, posting your successes, planting the seed, and parties. I mean, I've gotten a lot of people through parties as well, and that some people just want to do it and they'll come to you. And if you have the parties and you're meeting those people and you're building that social media, you're meeting new people. So
I love that. I love that. All right. You guys want to share a little bit about how you run your businesses? And
Yeah.
on the call has questions. If you could just write them down, and at the end, we'll open it up for questions.
So when Martha reached out to us, she asked us, I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. She said, look, people want to know, what are you doing? What are you doing to get these recruits? And honestly, this isn't the first time that she had asked me this. But it is the first time that I understood what I was doing a little bit differently than everyone else, that I feel that now I can finally explain it. And for me, there was like a struggle in my brain of saying this to Martha. I'm just being honest, because I felt like Martha does things differently than I do. And I was like, man, how am I going to tell people what I do when I feel like Martha, she's a superstar director? How am I going to say this to her when she does it differently than I do? But she gave me this example, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but she said something like, Mandy, I like to consider like training opportunities like a buffet. You're not going to eat every single thing on the buffet. You're going to pick the things that work for you. And, it is only true to myself and true for me and Erica, because this is how I've trained her as well, to tell you guys what I do and what is different and why I feel like this works for me. So before I go too deeply into this, I want you to know that if this is something that you're doing that works for you, keep doing it. Don't stop doing what works for you. But if you feel like maybe you're in a rut and what you've been doing is not working for you, then I want you to take out a pen and paper, because we're going back to the basics. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, and me and Erica were like, well, what do we say? Right? Because we feel like it's pretty simple what we're doing, but how do we teach that? And I just want to give you an example really quick of why I feel like being basic in a business like this is so important. And so I was looking around my house and my husband's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm looking for instructions. And he's like, what? I'm looking for instructions for things that we use like every day. And weirdly enough, it happened to do with COVID. So I have some instructions here, and this is just like, hopefully I can do this because I'm holding my phone, but I have two products that have two different instructions on how to use these products. One I feel is a lot different than someone else's instructions. So let's just dive right in. I have one of these in my hand. Do you guys know what this is? Probably. We've been living in a pandemic. You know what this is. I know how to use this, right? All I have to do is press this button and go like this, and it tells me my temperature. Luckily, I don't have a temperature, by the way. I know how to use that product. But when I was going through like the instructions on this, I wanted to show you. This is the booklet of the instructions on how to use this thermometer. And I was like, oh my goodness, if you like go to the page, it shows each function, how you do it. And like every single piece of information about this thermometer is in this book, including like the simplest things of how to check your temperature, which we know is easy, a button press. So then I found another product and I wanted to find a product that had super easy instructions. So I look around my house and I found a box of masks. And on this one right here, you can see there's 4 pictures, a 1, 2, 3, 4, of how to put on a mask. If you were to ask me what's more difficult, putting on a mask or checking my temperature by pressing a button, I guess I would probably say putting on a mask is a little bit harder than hitting a button to check my temperature. But the way that this was written out versus the way that the instructions were for this, I was like, wait a second, this is just crazy. And the reason that I'm sharing something so silly like a thermometer and a mask is because I feel like when it comes to recruiting, we give too much information. You guys really don't have to do anything to recruit. And honest to God, this was not part of what I planned to say today. And I do feel like I'm meant to talk about it because I had a question today on my team. And it was a question about recruiting, like, and it was a complicated response answer kind of thing. And I was like, this is what I should be talking about. This is the message that I feel like I have to say. And when you guys start recruiting, this is where you're going to be like, well, how do you do it? For one, I don't ask people to join my team. If anyone is on my team here, you can attest to this. I don't reach out to people. I don't message them. People say, hey, Mandy, can I join your team? You're thinking, what? They just come to you and they ask you to join your team? Like, what? No, I know that sounds crazy, but yes, people come to me and they say, Mandy, I want to join your team. So I'm like, well, how do I teach that? Right. And then I was like, it's because I really, like with what Erica was saying, I don't do anything other than give them the answer that they're looking for. How many times have you went to go buy a car and you know that you want to go and purchase like a red convertible and you get there and then they show you like 100 different options and all the things. And now you're like super confused and overwhelmed because they just handed you their whole sales kit and caboodle. And now you're like, oh, okay, I don't even know if I should buy a car. That's the same thing that you guys are doing when people ask you about to join your team. And I get it. It's scary. You want them so bad. And I know that you feel that nervousness inside of you, like you're going to explode. Like, oh God, they're asking, oh God, what do I say? And I just want to word vomit. It's so great. It's so great. But to other people, they're like, whoa, this is crazy. She needs me. She needs me for something. And I don't know what this is, but it's scary and I don't like it. So when I get people to join my team, I make it simple. For one, I don't ask people to join my team. I simply share my story. I share me, and I make all of this business stuff fun. I do not believe that if I were doing the things in the business that I don't care for, that I would have this much passion. And I found out what some of that stuff was. I know that I hate mailouts. So if someone were to say, hey, I think you're going to be successful, but you have to mail out these really detailed boxes filled with all of these fancy things to show your customers that you appreciate them. And this is mandatory to do it. Otherwise, you're not going to get sales. I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do that. That doesn't give me any passion. So you got to think about what is giving you passion when you're doing this. Do you like doing parties? Do you like working with team members? Is that something that you're passionate about? Are you passionate about positivity? Like for me, that's how I basically run my business, is based off of my mental health. Think about the things that excite you and do that in your business. So that way, when someone asks you a question about Scentsy, they can feel that passion in you without being word vomit. Like someone knows if they were to reach out to me and say something, how much I love Scentsy. I don't even have to sell it to them because I'm just giving them my honest opinion about whatever it is that they're asking me, because I do things in my everyday life that make me love Scentsy. So I know I get a little squirrel, so you guys just bear with me. But so people reach out to me and ask, okay, they asked to join my team. And someone had said to me prior, Mandy, what do you mean people reach out and ask to join your team? I'm literally giving kits away for free. Someone said to me, I'm literally giving kits away for free and they are not joining my team. What are you doing? I don't understand. And this is where I kind of like felt like, okay, how do I train this? And this is just my opinion. Again, if this works for you, please keep doing it. But my personal opinion is, if you can't give the kits away for free, right? Then stop trying to give the kits away for free. If it's not working for you, stop. For one, maybe it's looking like to your people or the people that you're seeing it as if, man, she's struggling so much right now that she's just having to give this stuff away. For me, I have built how do I say this? I have built an idea, an environment, and a culture that it's hard to get a party with me. It's hard to book a party with me. I have built a culture that you want to join my team, and there's limited spacing to join my team because I only have so much time to train so many people a month to join my team. When you start thinking, and this is so hard for me to explain, but when you start putting Scentsy on like a different pedestal of, I'm not begging to get parties, but I am solid with the amount of parties that I have. When you start doing it that way and stop making it seem as if it's hard to come by, then people will come to you and ask you for them. I actually do put a limit on my parties. People will say, hey, Mandy, will you host a party for me? And it gets to the point where I'm like, no, I can't right now. Well, can you please? It's my birthday. No, I'm not going to do it right now because I already have too many, and I can put you on the next one. I'll put you on a waiting list in case someone cancels. But they literally feel that. Can you imagine saying that to someone? Because when I first started, that was not how I was planning on doing this. Like, I was not going to be like that. But you get to a point where you have to realize that if you look at, gosh, I feel like I'm not explaining this well, but look at limited offers, limited time offers, right? Harry Potter, for example. How many of you knew that it was going to sell out and that it was going to be a hot commodity? All of us, right? It was just something that we knew. Well, what if you sold yourself and parties and becoming on your team the same way as if Harry Potter was for sale? It would probably change the game a little bit. It would make what you're doing like seem, oh, okay, I need to jump on this. I need to join this team now. I need to book a party now. It's more of a like a need, right?
So when we I think like when we give the stuff away, we're devaluing Scentsy, we're devaluing their business, we're devaluing ourselves, maybe?
That, in my opinion, yes, that's, and it was hard for me to like say that because I got to this point where I started following a bunch of leaders and I was like, okay, I need to start doing this. I need to start doing this. I need to start doing this. And then I had to take a step back and I was like, wait, but why do I have to do that if something like this is working for me? And I don't know from personal experience. I haven't given away a kit. I've never done that. But I can let you know from team's personal experiences, when they started that route, some of them got into like this space where it was just too hard for them to give it away. Now it would like, they got into this, like, can't even give it away. I do think that there is a way to get out of that, but, and that's just simply by stopping. Like, there's nothing that, oh, well, you used to give it away. Oh, now you just say, I'm so sorry. Like, it's already full. It's already taken. Like, you can get back into that cycle again of making it seem like it's a hot commodity and this is something that you want to do because everyone wants to do it, kind of thing. But yeah, I do feel like it diminishes the product. So it was hard for me to like come on here and say that because I know so many people do it. But I don't do that. I don't give away kits. I only do what makes me happy. So I don't like making flyers. I don't post a ton of stories. I don't do a lot of the things. If it doesn't make me happy, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to share passion about it. My main focus is very simple, and it's just sharing my story on Facebook. It's building relationships with people, and making it more about having fun than being salesy. My business group is literally all about having fun. I would say I share maybe 2 products a day on my business group, and the majority of it is a fun time that people come to escape the world and the craziness. And if they see something that they like that day, then they'll buy it. And then if not, they don't. And I don't focus around anything other than having fun. And I just keep it simple. I really don't. I feel like Erica does the same thing.
I was just gonna say that's where I think is the biggest difference. I also hate mailouts. I'm not crafty. I think Carrie, I love your stories. You're so crafty. You're awesome at that. I am not. And so I think sometimes that we do put the effort into those things too. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing at all, because they're amazing and they're great for our customer base. But sometimes I think we make it too complicated, is kind of where Mandy was going with it too. The basics, have fun. You don't have to be Scentsy'd out. And back to giving away a kit. I've never given away a kit either, because to be quite honest, I didn't know you could for a long time. And I think if people are joining for the 99, or they're earning it in their party, because earning it is kind of like spending your own money too, because now you're spending all your free Scentsy stuff. It gives them, they want it. They're not just taking the kit. What do they call them? Kidnappers, where they just take the kit and run. They don't really want it. If you're giving away, I shouldn't say they don't, but in my opinion, they're going to want it. If they're spending their money using their free product, they're going to invest in it. And again, with the having fun, and well, we're selling Scentsy, so why are we not showing Scentsy? Like Mandy said, twice a day. I don't have a set. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm not organized, I'll be quite honest. So I'll do some of my posts, and then I'll see something and say, oh, I want to post that. But I think just having fun and just being yourself, and is a huge part of it, is what I have to attribute it to be honest with you. And I was going to say one more thing and I forgot now. Such is my life. Can't remember. I don't know. It'll come back to me. It was something Mandy had touched on, but honestly, what she said is what I'm going to attribute everything, my success to, is picking Mandy's brain. Sorry if everybody picks your brain now, Mandy. But I did. She can tell you that. And I mean, asking questions are your only way to know. And I think that's a huge part of my success.
I just want to hop on real quick too. And I want to say that, like, I know that coming live with this, some people are going to take this a little personally, and I don't want that to be that, because honest to God, I don't follow like very many people. I don't see what everyone's doing. I just know that what works for me. And like I was saying, if that works for you, please continue doing that. You guys have to seriously sit down and think about the things that work for you and what doesn't work for you. I feel like, yeah, I'm being a little blunt right now, but sometimes I feel like there's things that even I was doing that, man, I was putting a whole lot of effort into something that was literally giving me nothing in return. And we didn't sign up for this to not get something out of it. And you have to think, okay, is this, even like my mail out example, I see people that do maybe $20, $15 and like lavish thank you mail outs. How much commission did you make off of that order that you're going to spend $15 to give them that? Are you doing it every single month? Do your customers expect it now? Are you at that point where people are literally expecting a gift because they purchased from you? Okay, does that seem fun? Now you're obligated and set into doing something that maybe it doesn't. If it gives you passion, then by all means, please do it. But if it doesn't give you passion, then what are you doing it for? You know, if you're just doing Scentsy for the fun of this, then yeah, I can see maybe, and you love making pretty things and stuff, send it out. But if you're in this for making money, don't give all of your money away. You don't have to give all of your money away. You can show your customers appreciation in smaller ways. You can, I don't give out thank yous for every single order. I don't even give out mail outs for every single Scentsy club. I do it randomly. And you know what is the craziest part is I truly, within everything in me, believe that they appreciate it more when they randomly get something than when they think that, oh, excuse me, I ordered this month, where is my prize? You know what I mean? So it's kind of a more spontaneity thing that they're like, oh my gosh, that was so nice for her. She didn't have to send me anything. And it was just a scent circle. You know, it was nothing big. It was nothing crazy. So for me, I had to think about, okay, well, what's benefiting my business? Honest to God, my biggest takeaway from all of this is your mindset. And you guys have to get your minds right. You cannot do this if you're in the mindset of, I can't do this. You're never going to do anything that you say, I can't do that. I can't do that. This is the way that me and Erica run our business is like a puzzle, but it's a small puzzle. It's not a difficult puzzle. There's little pieces of it, but essentially we work on our mindset. We put the belief in our head and we say we're going to do something, and then we show up and we do it. We post in our business group every day. We're consistent every single day. Every single, we talk about our lives. We share our stories. We share our when things happen good for us, we share it with people, because no one's going to know that you hit shooting star unless someone is posting it for you, which then that's great too, which I think if you have a team, you should be celebrating that stuff. But if they don't, shout yourself out. Take the bull by the horns and shout yourself out, because you earned it. Like, I don't have a fun life, you guys. They're like, well, and there's nothing, a lot of people say, there's nothing fun about my life. There's nothing special about me. I don't even have kids. I'm a dog mom. The only thing I have to talk about in my personal life is Birdie, and she's sitting here right next to me. Like, that's it. That's all I got going for me. I don't have like a crazy fun life, but I share my life. I share with, the little things in my life that make me happy, or if it is my dog, then it's my dog, and people get to know who I am that way. I feel like building authentic relationships with people is so important, and talking to people and branching yourselves out, like, that's part of the puzzle. You can't just do look, I wrote down 4 things in my notes. You can't just do one of them and miss one of the steps, because if you miss one of the steps in the puzzle, then it's not going to fully work, right? Erica knows this because we've had so many conversations about it. She does the same thing. Erica has already hit director. I've already hit star director. Martha is a superstar director. Martha still watches positive and motivational speeches, you guys. There is no, I'm done. I reached the level of success and I can stop. You have to keep going. It's a constant battle. So 1, work on your mindset every day. You got to believe it. So whatever it is that you have to do to believe it, if that's motivational speeches, I recommend Mel. But if it's like quotes on Facebook or whatever it is to get your head right, that says I can do it, there you go. You're in step 1. Do that. Get in that positive, good mindset. Step 2, making sure that you're consistent in your business. Look, there's some days, especially after my dad died, that I didn't even want to get out of bed, let alone post in my business page. But I did it. Don't make excuses for yourself. Don't make excuses of why you can't do it. I'm not kidding. I've probably spent in like a couple months after my dad died, 5 minutes a day on my business, because I was in such depression that I could not even function. So I did whatever I could. And maybe that was posting a funny meme, or maybe it was just posting your favorite wax bar or something you've shared 100 times, whatever it is, you got to stay consistent. And then talk about your life, be personable with people, build relationships with people, add people to your friends, like your friends list. That's another thing. If you have 100 friends, your friends are only going to buy so much from you. You have to branch out. So yeah, it can start with, all right, I asked for a party and then I got a party and I got a party, and you could build that way too. But if you're in a rut, then add some friends. Honest to God, how many of you still talk to someone from high school, but you're friends with them on Facebook? Like, what's the difference? There really isn't a difference of adding someone else that you don't know, that you can build a relationship with, versus Tammy Sue that you knew in 4th grade that you have no idea what her life is like now, you know?
Right.
So that's the other thing. And then for me, I do 5 parties a month, and I stay consistent with that. And I show my team I'm working it, and that's it. I share the great things that it's done for me. If it's not financially, it's mentally, and how my team was there for me in time of need, and how we kind of rally together. And that's it. That's all the pieces of the puzzle. There's no like special magic wand that I can give you. And this is just me being blunt again, but there's no special magic wand that I can give you guys to make you successful. You have to put in the work, and you have to believe that you can do it. And that's the most important thing out of all of this.
And I think sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I had watched a YouTube that in the beginning, them saying that there's no special, it was a YouTube, I can't even remember who it was. She was a superstar director on how to get high PRV. So I wanted to watch it. And that's what she said. There's no special magic wand that I can give you except to be consistent. And that stuck. It really did. It stuck. And just to build off of what Mandy said, the mindset is a huge thing. I drive 30 minutes to work, 30 minutes home from work. And every single day I have a different motivational YouTube on. Whatever it is, I just search it. I don't even have a preference. Sometimes I listen to the same ones because I love them so much and they get me pumped. And I turn them to the max on my radio. I have to do it to be able to get in that mindset. And I never did that before. I would have never thought to do that, but that is huge. And the consistency comes that you have to, because like Mandy said, her page is fun, and you might say for a week, oh, I'm going to start posting funny memes, and it's not working. It's not going to work right. You know what I mean? You have to be consistent about it, because it will come. It will. I mean,
and just to chime in, but be you too. Like if you are not about like the funny memes, or if you're not about whatever it is that you're talking about, if you don't care if someone likes iced coffee or hot coffee, don't share it just because it's engagement, but share things that relate to you. Like, you know, be true to yourself. I try to make engagement posts a lot about Disney because I'm a Disney fan, or I talk a lot about dogs in my business page, even though honestly, I don't sell very many pet products. That's true to me. So people know me because they know I like dogs. I share those little tiny things about myself that people, I believe, know who I am just from the tidbits that I share about my life. And we all sell the same thing. What is going to separate you from, or what's going to separate me from Erica, or Erica from whoever else, and so on and so forth. Like, especially if you're in the same area with a lot of people. And it's honest to God, it's your personality. And it's if people like you or not. So this is going to be a little blunt too, but like, look at your Facebook page not right now. I want you to stay on this call, but when we get off of here, look at your Facebook page and look at your profile. And what do you think it represents? But you got to be a little bit hard on yourself, not beat yourself up. But what do you think it represents? What are you talking about? Are you talking about positive things? Are you talking about the news? Are you talking about politics? Are you talking about dogs? I mean, what are you talking about? Is it you? Is it something that people would be like, oh yeah, that looks like fun? Or is it drama on your page? Let's be real. I used to dive right in. I used to be that girl on Facebook, like, ooh, what's Felicia doing right now? Oh, she just talked to, and I'm like 14 pages in deep. Oh, she just told that girl the blood. I don't even know these people now. Like, what are you putting into this? You know? and take a look at it. Really dive deep. And what are you selling people? Because honestly, you're selling yourself. I have people on here that I have on my page that I have no idea who they are, but something about me they liked. So they were like, okay, this is why I pick her. And you have to kind of, if you're going to sell on social media, you gotta see what you're putting on the market there, and that's yourself. If you want to do it on home parties, then fine, post whatever you want. But you're trying to have a business on social media, you should probably look into what you're posting on your page. Sorry, I'm really blunt, right? That's one thing that changed about me.
Good. No, that's good. I mean, we all need to hear that. I think it's very good. Yeah. And honestly, like, reevaluating my business is something I do annually. And I think everybody should, write down what's working, what's not working, right? Because what's working today might not have been working from last year, right? So
100%. Yeah. And that's another thing for me is like, you evolve. Even me as a person, I've evolved. So something that Mandy might have said prior to my dad dying is not something that new Mandy says now. And it's kind of beautiful. Honestly, where this journey takes you is so beautiful, you guys. If you really step into it, sorry, I don't want to cry again, but the personal growth that I have developed in the past year, just here and within myself and learning boundaries, maybe being blunt. I'm the most passive person. I was the most passive person you'd ever meet, which is probably why I was like scared at first, just a little, to be like, Martha, I do things a little bit different than you, but I think you're freaking amazing. But I have to be honest now. I'm a little bit more blunt. But just this like journey that I went on through Scentsy and all the incredible things that I've learned in this personal development process has helped me just grown as a person and my business too. Yeah. Like when you take that time for yourself to grow, some of these things are just going to come naturally. Yeah, and you'll be so surprised when you see it. You won't even realize the transformation until you're like, Erica, I have to give some credit to Erica because she was very much like this in the beginning. Like, she was very scared to talk about herself. She was very, I don't know. She was just unsure. And I was like, girl, just trust me. Do the thing. And she's busy, you guys. Let me just say, I'm sorry, but I don't want to hear any excuses because that girl is busy. She is a single mom that's fully into sports and she is working super hard, is literally takes care of her. She is busy. Most of the time I talk to Erica, she's like out of breath. She's like doing 100 things and like, still listening to her motivational speeches. Like, like you're going to go on this journey though. And it's incredible. And if you fully dive in and don't just sit there on the edge, but if you fully dive into it, it's life-changing. It is life-changing. And that's where this is life-changing.
Mandy, I say this all the time. Scentsy is a personal growth plan. Scentsy is a personal growth journey with a compensation plan.
100%. And you know what though? I remember you saying this and I didn't really fully get it until I went through it. It's the craziest thing. So hopefully you guys don't have to go through the traumatic experience. Just really, I want you to if you have to say it to yourself 100 times until you process it, please don't have to go through the traumatic experience to get it because it's so true. It's so true. Oh. I don't know if we have questions. I haven't looked yet, but if you guys do have questions, please ask. I am an open book policy. So I'll be honest with you.
I just gotta say, I love how open-minded you are and how blunt you are.
You know what's crazy is Stephen, he couldn't join tonight, but he's known me. You guys know that Stephen King on this. Maybe you don't, you're new, but he's been my best friend for years. And this was not who I used to be. So it's really funny. I'm telling you the journey. That's just not who I used to be. But it's just crazy. Sometimes life throws these things at you. And until you accept the lesson, they're going to keep throwing it at you. And I've gotten so many lessons in the past year. And honestly, it's because of Scentsy. I'm leaving. Sometimes I think that God steps in and fate steps in. And I truly believe that God knew something bad was going to happen. And I need to help this girl because I do feel like I have some leadership like in me, somewhere in me, like I was as a kid anyways. I'd be like, come on guys, let's go to the playground. And they're like, okay. But I never knew how to use it until I got here. And I truly believe that it is my purpose to help other people. That's my purpose. My purpose is to help other people, because when I see, and I'm going to cry again, but when I see Erica Milton, sorry, because I love her so much, but when I see Erica Milton and how this has changed her life, sorry, it gives me purpose to mine. Just a short thing, but like I was not able to have children. I struggle with infertility. And when my dad died, sorry, this is getting really deep, but when my dad died, I hit such a dark wall that I didn't know about my purpose. Like, what am I? I'm just a dog mom. And then when I got to see Erica and my teammates change their lives through something like this, I realized that this is my purpose. And that Scentsy can help so many people. So many people can change their life through something like this. And that's why I'm here today. Honest to God, that's why I'm here today. So sorry.
No,
I was so not expecting
powerful.
that.
So powerful.
All right, someone else talk.
You're amazing. You are so amazing. You and Erica are so amazing. You're so inspirational. I have always, from the moment you almost started your business, Mandy, I've always followed you. And, you know, a girl to hit director in 30 days is a girl I'm going to follow.
Thank you.
A girl that hits director in 30 days. Scentsy needs to put a spotlight on you, girl, because that is so inspirational in itself.
Thank you.
It's so inspirational in itself. That is how I got to know you and follow you. And instead of being, oh, I'm going to compare myself to her, and you know, I always looked up to as a person to learn from. And we've become friends, and we will be forever friends. I love you. I love
Forever.
you so much. Forever.
I love you.
Forever. Because you've done so much. You've done so much. You're an incredible inspiration. This isn't the first training I've gotten from you. I've followed your path. I just adore you. I adore every part of you. My big question for you, for you and Erica, you're both amazing beings, like crazy, is how you onboard your people, because you guys seem to have this, and I just got to put this out there, that I love that you share your story, that you don't give stuff away. You don't devalue Scentsy as a company. You put it kind of like in a way that, like, I don't even know
Gucci is only Gucci because someone decided it's going to be Gucci.
right?
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's still made out of the same material as so many other products that you could get at Walmart, but you know what I mean?
So how do you
Exactly.
onboard?
Like, I love that you don't portray Scentsy as devaluing yourself by giving stuff away. I love that. Like, you're putting everything, like, I can't find the word, but
How do you
that's where I think I've gone wrong, because me being in the company for almost 3 years, it's like, what am I doing wrong? And listening to your training tonight, I give things away. I give kits away. I give products away. I do this, I do that. And it's really sinking in tonight that our company is amazing. We have amazing products. So we have an amazing gift to give.
Right.
with the opportunity. This is the real big, right, that I'm getting tonight, is that we got to stop devaluing our company and our products, because I have been doing this for far too long. Hey guys, in my VIP group, hey guys, free kit, like, or we can't say that, 0 out of pocket cost or whatever we're supposed to say now, kit available. Well, that doesn't really seem enticing anymore, does it?
Right.
I love the spin that I've learned tonight, that we need to value the company that we work within.
Right.
We need
Yeah,
to,
and
we need to
I
value
think what I'm doing with my team, just to answer your question, so I make it very simple. I don't like I was explaining the mask and the thermometer. I know there's like 100 steps to shooting star, to sensational start, to certified consultant, to all of the things that you want to tell them, because I think they're all great things. And yeah, you want to just spew it out. But I feel like you're so much better off to just be like, $500 is your goal. And they don't have to know anything else until they hit the $500 goal. Honestly, what's the point of telling them all of it anyways? They're not even going to get there. You're just wasting your breath. So it's work smarter, not harder. Share what they need to do, step-by-step process, and don't overcomplicate it. Give them the simple route. When I work with my team, I built a team page, and I have, Scentsy teaches us how to do all the things, but I felt like I could teach it easier. So I did a walkthrough video instructions where I'm holding my phone and I'm like, this is how you create a party. This is how you create a party for someone else. This is how you close a party. This is how I have all of these video instructions on how to do it. And all of my team knows that when they get someone new, here's the steps to follow. I even have that written down. Here's what you do right when you get a teammate. Because sometimes it's when you do it often, some teammates will be like, oh, I go to this spot, then this spot, then this spot. But maybe this is your first teammate. So I'm going to tag you in a post of what do you have to do to work with your teammate. And that way I don't have to explain it again, because I got to a point when I became a director in a month. I'm like, okay, this is growing too fast. And I can't possibly, I work full time. I can't possibly answer 10 people's questions right now, or 5 people, however many were on my team at that time, and separately. So it has to all be grouped into one spot. So I made a team page, very simple, to the point, and bringing it back to the basics.
That's good. That's good. Anyone else have any questions for Mandy or Erica?
sorry, I have one
Sure.
more.
Oh.
So you guys do such an amazing job of recruiting. What is your number one tip of onboarding? Like, what is your first thing that you have them do when you onboard a new person? What is the first thing that you're giving them as a go-to?
So the very first step, when someone joins my team, and this is, I've already got them, right? That's your question. I've already got them on the team. Is that the next step? Okay. So I already got them on the team. The very first thing that I do is I say, okay, I want you to log in. You should have received an email. Log in. Kind of just go through the tabs. I'll give you just like 2 minutes, but I am going to tag you in a video of how to create a party for you, a party link. And I describe to them, this is how your customers are going to shop. Once you complete this step, send me the link. So that's all I say to them. They go on, they create their party link, they send it to me in Messenger, and I say, easy peasy, you're halfway there. You're almost done. All you have to do now is create a Facebook group. I just tagged you in that. That video is even shorter than this one, and you're all set and rolling, girl. And that's it. And then I say, look, I don't even provide the pictures to my team. I tell them you can find images on Pinterest. I highly recommend using real life images. I don't give them anything really, other than this is where you can find it. If you need help finding it, I can introduce you to some groups too. There's, a couple groups where we have images, but that's it. That's all I do. And then I tell them, here's your goal, $500. That's it. That's all I say.
Carrie, go ahead.
Yeah, Mandy, and Erica. Well, so I was posting on my regular Carrie Lee Facebook page for a long time, going live and doing all the things. And then I thought, well, I really need a VIP group because I don't want to just post all that stuff on my page all the time. So I stopped. So now I got my VIP group going again, kind of good, but it's okay. But I do, and I'm trying to post and be real consistent in there. But what is your opinion about your regular Facebook page versus, do you have, I don't even have a business page. I do, but forget that. So I have VIP and a team page, of course, that I'm real consistent in my team page, real consistent in stories. But I don't know if I need to get back to my Facebook, regular Facebook, or I don't know. And how vulnerable do you really get on those? But okay, so that's my
so
question.
to answer your question, and this is where I feel like this is probably one of the most important things, right? If you want people to say, how do I join your team? This is it. This is the question. Your personal Facebook should be worked like your business, as in you're posting your life just as consistently as you are posting your business page. But your personal life, you don't have to be so personal. You don't have to say everything, right? It could be pictures of grandkids. It could be pictures of your dog. It could be whatever you want. But I would say 90% of what you share on your personal page, 90% should be your life and not Scentsy. People should know that you sell Scentsy, but this is just my opinion again, but I don't feel like you should shove it down their throat. And that's where I feel like people, why they want to join my team is because they don't really see me doing a whole lot of work. Honest to God, they don't. My stories aren't elaborate. You go to my personal page, there's not that much Scentsy on there. They know I do it. And yeah, you can see on there that I do it. You got to make sure that that's visible somewhere, that you have some way to find your business page. Because if you can't even find that, then wow, find it. You got to show them, but you don't got to just throw it all over them. Even in my business group, though, to be 100% honest with you, it's not all Scentsy. It's kind of an extension. That's I say words all the time that don't really. My husband would laugh if he was here. But anyways, it's an extension of me. It's not Scentsy related. It's more the fun side of me, like funny memes and for me, I have a shopping issue. So I'm like, oh, hey, do I need this? Don't tell my husband. That's how I brand myself. Girl code. Oh, look what's coming home with me today. So that's my branding. It's mostly fun with a little bit of product sprinkled in. And they're kind of similar, more product on my VIP group than my regular page. But yeah, mostly personal. I feel like people are going to want to sign up through you. So it's important to share you and your life. And I know we're having this conversation directly. So I have to say to you, your life to me is incredible. I think you're one of the sweetest people. And from what I've seen from your stories, I would continue doing that. What you're doing with your stories are incredible. They're seeing your life and how you use products. And I would not change that a bit. But your personal page, I'll be honest, I haven't looked at your personal page very often, but I would continue that life stuff with a sprinkle of Scentsy. So they know you do it, but it's not oh, we get it. You sell Scentsy. So that's the answer for you.
Not the cutest Southern belle ever.
Oh my gosh, I am so in love with her. I want to meet her so bad. I'm in love with her. I think she's the most genuine, and I want to eat her cooking. Oh my gosh.
Any other questions? And if you do, please go ahead and get them ready. I just wanted to share one thing with you guys. She was talking about listening to motivational. Podcasts are free, you guys. Podcasts are free. If you're not listening to podcasts, Trent Shelton is good. Another one that I listened to, Scentsy has a podcast. Did you guys know that? Seriously, The Gold Digger is good. like go find some podcasts to listen to, and YouTube videos are free as well. Megan, go ahead. You had a question?
Yes, I do. I just want to know, how do you take some downtime for yourself, like a little bit away from your phone or your electronics? Because I'm having a really hard time doing that without feeling like I'm failing on those days.
That's a great question. Erica, I feel like I'm just like talking so much.
Well,
I don't know. Do you want to answer? Or because I kind of like,
Well-
we have this talk a lot. So
Yeah, and this is something that I put on my dream board because when I saw it affecting my son telling me to put my phone down is when, you know, you're always on Scentsy because he loves Scentsy, right? He's my biggest fan. We walk in Walmart and he wants to tell the people that are in front of the wax, like, give him my business card. So the second that I saw that he was, I don't like Scentsy now because I'm always on my phone. I'm like, okay, we got to do something. So I'm like, Mandy, help. What do I do? But you really do have to find a balance. You have to, there's no Scentsy emergency. That stuck out in my head. We think there is because yes, we want to sell, we want to recruit, we want to do all that. But there really is no Scentsy emergency. It can wait. So you just have to find whatever time that you're going to set aside and say, this is when I'm going to work my business, put those notifications on silent and be with your family when you're going to be with your family, and tell them when you're going to work your business is when you're going to work your business. So you just have to find a time when that works for you, because you will burn yourself out. We've all been, well, me and Mandy have both been there for sure. And then I find myself just staring at the wall. So I have to find that balance and make sure that I stick to it. It's definitely hard. But I think turning off those notifications and sticking to that time frame is really important.
yeah, I think the burnout, just to kind of go off that, the burnout is so real. And especially when you work a full-time job and you got all these responsibilities, and like you'll see too, as you start to grow your teams, it does get hard. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything. It's a harder job, but your pay is getting increased too as that goes along. So take that into consideration. You're getting compensated for the harder job. But yeah, you guys have to sit there and think about, what did I sign up for? If you signed up for, you wanted financial freedom, or you signed up because you want to be able to spend time with your husband and go on little trips, or even just go to a movie once a week, whatever it is that it is, that's your focus. Like, if all of a sudden you're working so hard that you don't have time for the things that you signed up for, then that's silly. That's silly. And I will be the first one to admit, I told Erica, take a step back. I had to at one point. I said, Erica, look, let's just be 100% real. I was like, Erica, you know that I signed you up. I make money off of you. This is a very real personal conversation. But I see what you're doing right now. And I've been there to that burnout spot where it got so, I was like drowning, that you don't even want to do it anymore. And you can't let yourself get there. There is a balance. Now I'm not saying, when you're working too hard and when you're not. So this is not an excuse of like, oh, I'm just drowning. I'm doing too much Scentsy. But there is a balance when you know that you're doing too much, that you need to take a step back, because the priority is your family.
Right.
The priority in life is your family and your why, and why you're doing this. And don't lose sight of that. That's your forefront. If you feel like you're struggling with time, if you're a mom, bring your kids into it. Like, I don't personally like putting stickers on things, but kids love stickers. Have them put the scent stickers on the little thingies, and bring them into it. Make it fun for them. Scentsy trip, like, hey, Scentsy paid for this movie day, son. Let them know, like, hey, we got to do this because of Scentsy today. My husband, he didn't understand this at all. When I first joined, I was like, hey, husband, like, all of a sudden I'm doing this business. Now I need you to help me, because I need help with dishes, and I need help with laundry, and I need help doing all of these things. And he's like, what is this? What? You got this business, and now all of a sudden you are asking for all of this help, and like, I don't like this. Stop doing it. And I'm like, trust me on this. There's a bigger picture. And he trusted me on this. And he sees now that I have, now I have time freedom, which is the craziest thing to say. I have time freedom. You're going to make some sacrifices, right? So I'm not saying to stop doing that. You're going to have to make some sacrifices, but they are worth it. And you still have to remember not to burn yourself out along the way with the sacrifices.
And like you said, take time for you, but also you cannot pour from an empty cup. And that's why we keep going back to listening to podcasts, listening to YouTube videos. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So important.
Absolutely.
Melissa had a question. Go ahead, Melissa.
Yes, I was wondering, how do you know when to voice message your people, or just, people in general? How do you know when to voice message? Not like time of day, but like when that friendship or relationship is built up enough? Or do you just do it whenever you feel comfortable, or just because that's what you do? And then number 2, Facebook isn't allowing me to go live, and I don't know why, and it's killing me. Okay, that's it. How do you know when to voice message people when you're talking about things? And do you know why Facebook isn't allowing me to go live? Anybody?
I don't know why Facebook isn't allowing you to go live, but you can check to see if there is like a block on your account. I've been in Facebook jail. My team can attest to this a few times. And it's not because I say anything like politically incorrect. I'm usually like doing too many parties at once, but you can check in your settings of like restricted. There could be like a block that something happened where you might be in Facebook jail. So I would look into that. I don't know otherwise. But when it comes to like voice clips, I will send a voice clip more times than I will send typing things out. And not that it was a strategic move, to be honest with you. The reason I started doing it at first was because my hands were so tired of typing. I typed at work, and then I would type all day at Scentsy and, all the things. And it just got to the point where it was easier. And then I realized, oh, wait, this is better because someone can see the tone in which I'm speaking it versus typing it out. And I feel like, especially if someone's coming to me and saying, hey, I want to join your team. If I'm like, here's all this information, blah, 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 blah. And then I send it to them, they're like, whoa. But if I'm just like calm, cool, and collected, and you have to know if you can do that or not, because there is a kind of a skill to that. If you feel like you're going to word vomit, then don't send the voice clip. But if you're cool, calm, and collected, and you can keep it simple, you answer their question without giving them any other information. And just say, yeah, I'm here if you have any other questions. And that's it.
Yeah.
But I'll use it more times than I won't.
Yeah, the word vomit has been my biggest thing that I have worked on since I've been with Scentsy for a little over a year now. So that has been a big thing that I've worked on. That's been a big thing that I tell my team. And also, real quick, I don't mean to take up too much more time because I know we're running over. With the whole finding your purpose situation, I have 3 kids and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I used to work, but pregnancy left me very sick and depleted, and I couldn't do anything but be in the hospital or lay on the couch. And so having Scentsy now also gives me purpose because I have an associate's in accounting. I love business. I was manager at Chick-fil-A at one point in time. Like, I miss work in a sense, but I don't miss working outside the home. Like, so this gives me work that I want to do. I've always loved the products anyways. So it definitely, Scentsy can give you community and purpose more than just paycheck. And it's wonderful.
I think that's so good. And I'm so happy to hear that too for you, because it's a huge thing to have purpose. And when you don't have it, man, it's really hard to find whys of why to put in the effort, why to work so hard. And if your thing is word vomit, I'm telling you, the best thing that you can do is just answer the one question that they ask. You don't have to say anything
exactly what
else.
I'm working on.
Yep. And if you start to type it or say it, like, delete that voice clip and start again. Just answer that one question, nothing else.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Nicole.
You're welcome.
Nicole has a question.
Yeah, it's more just like a thank you. I do just really want to thank you both for coming on and sharing because I've seen all the posts and all the shout outs and, you know, all the promotions and all the awesome things. And so it's really nice actually kind of hear, like you say, like the simple things that you do, because I'm not even in a year yet and I'm starting to grow my team and it's kind of starting to blow up a bit. And I'm like, okay, now what? So I've been reaching out a lot to Mo and Martha. So it's nice to kind of hear what you're doing and, you know, just kind of how I can kind of keep it simple. And along with that, sort of the idea of purpose, I really want to say thanks for sharing your story, because I'm turning 38 next month. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I have 2 nieces and everything. And so like, I've really struggled, and I'm like, I've realized what I struggle with is the idea of, I really want to leave a legacy in some way. I'm like, and I know it sounds kind of morbid, but I'm like, when I die, what's going to be left? And so knowing that, you know, hearing, you know, just the vision that you have and how you've been able to kind of look at it, it's like, okay, yeah, you know, it gives me that opportunity to kind of look. I'm a teacher too, but you know, it's kind of like, what else is going to happen? You know, so it's like knowing, you know, in a sense of being able to look at Scentsy in that same way is like, okay, yeah, if it doesn't happen, like that can happen for me. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
Thank you for saying that sincerely. That almost made me cry. So thank you for saying that. I know. I'm like, oh, stop. What's going on? All the onions being chopped today.
Oh, all right. We are going to wrap it up. I know we went over, but this was amazing. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you, Erica. We love you guys. Seriously, we just love you so much. Thank you. You guys shared your hearts tonight, and we really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. You guys are amazing. Like I said earlier, I think we have like 42, 45 new teamies in the group already for the, and it's only March 3rd. So it's incredible, incredible, incredible. Keep sharing this amazing blessing. This is a blessing, you guys, that we get to do what we do. It is truly a blessing. All right. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you so much. I love you.
Love you guys.
Thank you
Bye.
for pouring all your love